So this little patch is about all that's left in the yard of the snow that we had. This patch used to be over 10 feet tall, but it's finally melted down. It's kind of breezy, but I have the microphone facing away from the breeze, so hopefully you're not getting too much of it. That feeder is where most of the squirrels end up. It's not meant to feed squirrels, but it does. This is my precious car with the very important Cthulhu window cling. And in the back of her, there are 4 pieces of rolling luggage that hold my inventory. They live there permanently. And this tree hangs. I'm looking straight up. This hangs over the driveway, and this tree is the one that pollinates all over my car and turns it this creepy tree sex green color, because you mix yellow and blue and you get green. These 2 trees get most of the visible squirrel activity. When I was younger, I always thought that this kind of moss, because it looks kind of like baby trees, or baby evergreens anyway, was baby trees. I didn't know it was a kind of moss until later in life. Those rocks are where a groundhog did live. I don't know if it's still living out there, but it was. We did have an actual squirrel feeder attached to a tree that used to be there, but the tree came down in a storm. Lucky it didn't hit the house, since the base was only about 10 feet away from the house. So the squirrel feeder tree is gone, and I don't see the squirrel feeder up and out. I am seeing lots of these little holes all over the yard, though. It doesn't look like anything right now, but this is where my lilies come up. Well, one of the places my lilies come up. I've said repeatedly that I'm really bad at favorites. Lilies is not one of those cases. Lilies are my favorite. Well, I found the squirrel feeder. It was actually right behind the bird feeder on the same tree. That's the neighbor's house. But yeah, squirrel feeder, empty at the moment. But what they tend to do is knock this one around so that they can pick its seed on the ground underneath it, because squirrels. We've got an interesting mix of live and dead grass in the yard, just like every spring, but this tiny little patch around this acorn was just a little bit brighter. Something about the grass is always greener around the septic tank. Evidence of impending flowers in Mom's little flower bed up front. So now I'm sitting down on the front steps because my body decided, yep, nope, that's enough. You hurt too much to stay standing. But you got a little bit of a tour of outdoors, which required me to actually go outdoors, which not just because the son and I have agreed to disagree, but because it hurts for me to be active and mobile. I don't do much. I am a bit of a shut-in. I had a handful of ideas about what I wanted to talk about today, but I thought about them for a while and couldn't really go anywhere with them. And then I saw one of the fat squirrels. So I figure I'll go outside. Stranger things have happened. I will most likely be talking to you tomorrow inside.